Welcome all. Today in this video, I'm going to discuss about the Lambda expression in Java 8 and onwards. In my previous video, I discussed about the functional interfaces. Now in this video, what is Lambda expression? So Lambda expression is basically, you can say they are used to express the instances of a functional interfaces. And we know that functional interfaces are those interfaces which contains a single abstract method. Okay, and lambda expression in Java are same as you can say lambda functions, and the purpose of this you can say lambda expression is to create a short block of code that accepts some input parameters and also returns some resultant value, just like a functions here. Okay, so for example, you can say here this is my functional interfaces, function interface func interface, and it contains a single abstract method addition which takes two input, integer a and integer b here, and it is returning nothing here. So you can see that in my class test, I just shown you that how you can, with the help of lambda expression, how you can create the instances of the function interface, and then you can implement it, and after that you can in the same class you can use it in this way. So let me explain it in the detail. So for that purpose, you can see that this is my functional interface, and in this functional interface, you can see here this is abstract method addition. So generally, what happens that if you are not going to talk about the lambda expression, we know that if we want to use any interface, first of all, we have to create a implementation class for that. So I'm creating here implements implements and just giving the name of my interface. It can be function interface, it can be an interface. Just I'm taking the example of function interface because we are going to discuss on that. So now we have to add unimplemented method, and here in my method I will simply write the implementation like the sum of a and b, this one. So I created, you can say I created this uh, implementation class which is implementing the functional interface, and you know that functional interface contains this abstract method, so I implemented here. Now if we want to use this method, how we can use it? For that purpose, I'm creating a separate class Pradeep with the main method, and in the main method, first of all, I create the reference of my functional interface. I will create the, you can say, reference. So how we can create the reference? We can create the reference of functional interface like fi, and after that we can create the object of the implementation class like function implement interface implementation. I can create the object of this class here. Now after that I can simply call the method how fi dot, and you can see that I call the method 4 comma 5 here. So now you can see that I will simply run it and it will work. So this is the very traditional approach. Like whenever you have any interface or you have any functional interface, first of all, you have to create an implementation class where you will just implement the unimplemented method in your class. And after that, in your main method, anywhere you can create the reference of functional interface. Then right side, you are just creating the object of a implementing class, and then you can simply call the method. This is one way. Another way was that also that you can do one thing also, like I can show you that instead of creating this function interface implementation, I don't want to create this function interface implementation. I will do one thing. I will write function interface equal to new, and simply I will write same functional interface. So when I will write function interface, we know that we cannot create the object of a function interface. So in this case, it will give you the option to create an anonymous, you can say, class here. Anonymous class means where you are just implementing the class at the time of creating the object here. So here you can say that here I'm creating a object of this class. Okay, so because it is interface, I cannot create it at the same time I'm just implementing. So this is called anonymous implementation. So now here I can simply do one thing here. I can write same implementation here, a plus b. Okay, now I've implemented it. Now after that I can simply use this fi dot addition, and you will see that it will give me the same result, 4 and 5 here, 4 and 5 here. So now let me run it. Let me clear the previous one and let me run it. So in this way, it is working fine here. Now I will show you that what is the use of lambda expression. We can achieve the same thing with the help of lambda expression. How? For that purpose, simply we can do one thing. In case of lambda expression, you are creating the reference of a functional interface fi. That is okay. And after that, you can implement it directly with the help of lambda expression. So how lambda expression works, you can make a bracket, and this bracket is going to define the input parameter. So in your functional interface, you have two parameters, a and b. So I can simply write a comma b. Okay, because it is a functional interface, so we don't need to define whether int a int b, because I told you functional interface contains only one abstract method. So whenever you are using the lambda expression already know that, because it contains only one abstract method, so by default first parameter will be according to it, like int, and b second parameter will also be according to this method. That's why you don't need to give here any parameter type. You are just declaring the variable here. After that, you have to write this one dash and this one, and after that you can write your implementation, just like I'm writing here, and here you can write the a plus b. Okay, now you can see implementation is done. If you are writing multiple line of code, in that case you can use the curly brackets here. You can use the curly brackets here if you are using the multiple, you can say, line of code. So this is the difference. If you are using multiple of line of code, then you can write it in this way, like this is the input parameter, this dash arrow, and after that in the bracket you can write the code. If you have multiple line of code, then you can write multiple line of codes here. Otherwise, if you have a only single line of code, this implementation is enough here. So now you can see with the help of lambda expression, it is very easy. And now you can simply call the method fi dot addition. So fi dot addition, and then you are passing 4 comma 5. And now let me run it. So you can see here with the help of lambda expression, the way of creating the instances of functional interface and its implementation parts become very, very easy. Simply, you have to write bracket to write the input parameters, then this one, this dash and arrow, and after that you can write your implementation, and after that you can simply call it. I hope you understand the functional interface and how lambda expression can be helpful in your functional interface instance creation here. Okay, and now one more thing. Suppose take the example, this function is returning something. If you want to return, if your function is returning something, in that case what you can do, let me show you that thing also. Suppose take the example, it is returning int. Okay, so in that case what will happen in this implementation, you can do one thing, simply this one. So first of all, because I want to just you can say I want to print the sum also, as well as I want to return the value. So I'm returning return, and let me write a plus b here. So you can see here, there is no difference. There is no difference. Only whenever your functional interface, it is returning something. It is returning something. In this case, what will happen? You will simply do one thing. You will write this one as it is, input parameter, this dash and arrow. You can write this curly bracket. In this line, you can write multiple line of code, and at last you can return it. So you can see that it is working here. Okay, now because you are calling it, if you want to store it in a variable, let me show you int res, you can store it here, and if you want you can print it after this line also. Okay, we are printing in here also, but we can print here also result here, and here we can write res. So actually you can say it means lambda expression is nothing. Lambda expression is a way to you can say to create the instances of your functional interface, as well as to give the implementation in a easiest way, and after that you can simply use it. So I hope you like the video, and if you have any query, you can put your queries in the comment of this video, and if you have not subscribed my channel till now, you can subscribe it. Thank you.